Welcome everyone. This is the Real Elite webinar. We are happy to have you here. I am Marco Romero.
I'm Kirk Barbera.
And us together, we are Real Elite. We have a bigger team just other than us two, but we're the ones that kind of put this content out there for you. And the purpose of this webinar is we wanted to take the time to explain the purpose of Real Elite and why video production and creating consistent content is important in today's day and age.
Yeah, and how you can turn yourself into a media company, the value of video production, doing lots and lots of video, what that can do for your business, versus, just kind of the old school way of doing things, which is the world we came from. And, I was a film production major at University of Colorado. So I'm kind of steeped in this old school way of doing video, which was very expensive. And we're on a mission to help people reduce the amount of money it costs to make video and audio and written content. And then, we also can help out with that, of course, if that's something you wanted. But it's something you can actually do on your own. And we're very passionate about helping people do more of that on their own.
Yeah, the future is creating consistent content and getting it out there over and over and over again so that you can build your audience and build your influence. So that's why we wanted to go over that. So to start out, who are we, Kirk?
So, that's kind of who we are. I think we kind of described it. We're a video production company. We have, so far, we're producing about 100 something videos a month as of the end of August. And we also do podcasts, and what have we done? About 5 or 6 like little mini books, essentially, that we've written, including, that's on top of blogs and other things, marketing material, and then a huge, some huge education video courses. So basically, we're a media production company. We do video, audio, written, whatever you need, and we're very passionate about where media is going. And so as a company, we founded this to help small businesses and businesses in general to amplify their media production capabilities.
Well, we're excited about where media is going, but more specifically where media is going for the business owner.
For the small business owner particularly, and that's like if you're under $10-20 million in revenue a year, the power is that all of your clients, the people that are currently buying your products, and that can potentially give you referrals, which we're a small business, so we understand, and Marco has other small businesses in real estate, investing, and just the real estate world. And what we really get is how important referrals are and how important it is to constantly communicate with your clientele so they always know you're around. We have some clients who, if they're not on top of mind, the client might actually go somewhere else. Like if you're H&R Block, like they may go to the other tax consultant guy or go to taxact.com. So you want to constantly be producing stuff to get on top of their mind, right? And that's what we want to help people do, even if you're not going to use Real Elite services. And it's so affordable to do that these days. And we're really passionate about helping people do that.
That's right. Video is the future, and if you can position yourself to be producing video at a high volume on a consistent basis, you're going to be seeing it impact your business and the bottom line of your business in a huge way. And that's what we're passionate about. So let's just talk about ourselves. So we knew each other.
That's what everybody wants to know.
Yeah, right?
They're so excited. Who are these goofballs?
Well, we knew each other when we originally met was in high school, right?
Yeah.
And you had come, I had been living in San Antonio for a little while, and you came from California.
Yeah.
So you already had that like LA glam video stuff.
Well, I don't know about glam. Me personally, I live in the suburbs of Fremont. But yeah, I think, I lived in Silicon Valley, what is now pretty much the epicenter. Like the Silicon Valley has kind of changed, but I lived in Fremont, which is, where they have the Tesla factory. But I remember my friends who worked at like 3Com or whatever, 3M I think it was, and they, got the first, when cable internet first came out, like they got it. Like whenever there's the fastest stuff, this is the 90s, before even Windows 95, I had friends who had stuff that was like cutting edge at that time, thousands and thousands. So I remember like growing, I didn't have it because we were kind of broke, but my friends had it and they had some cool stuff. And I just remember seeing that at just like an early age. I was like, this is really, cool. I'm not a nerdy like tech guy as much. I actually saw it though. And I was fascinated by what you were able to do. The games we play. I remember playing early, very advanced video games, which was huge. It's a huge culture. As now it's $1 billion culture or industry, and back then it was just a couple $1 million, whatever. So that, and then I went into film school later. I've been in sales and marketing, and my dream, basically, what I love doing is writing pretty much anything. Like I love telling stories, and I love producing video content, producing movies, and I've done like plays, I've done short films, I've even worked on feature-length Hollywood films. I've been on the big sets and seen the helicopter shots and all the cool stuff like that.
He's passionate about all that. If you see Kirk in person, you ask him about writing and all that type of stuff, man, you be prepared to have a long conversation. He has a lot to talk about. And then, okay, so, I met you in high school, and for what connected us in high school was the fact we were in band together, right? But on top of that, we were very interested in business and, just learning that realm. I know that we, at that age, read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and we kind of connected on that. And then, like you mentioned, you went down the film route and the production side of things. And then for me, I was always interested in the investing side. So I went down the road of real estate investing. I became a real estate agent myself, and just figure out ways that I could get passive income through cash flow and real estate. And along that journey is I worked with some individuals to produce some real estate reality shows, and that's kind of where my awareness to the impact of video started. I remember we created these reality shows, and man, everyone that would watch it, they would lighten up, they would get excited, the passion would be reinvigorated in people that hadn't invested for a while, and there was just a lot of excitement around what video could do, and I saw the power of video. So then we came together and we decided, hey, how can we build a business around providing video at an affordable price for the small business owner?
That's what we're here for today, is to kind of talk about where media is and where it's going. This is why we got together to do this company, is we know that every one of your clients has a radio, a television, a newspaper in their pocket. Every single one of your clients. And every single one of your prospective clients. So if you're not communicating to them regularly, which is creating video content, audio content, written content constantly, you're losing opportunities to make more sales, and you're losing opportunities to make referrals, and you're losing the opportunity to get a prospect that you may never contact any other way. So that's what we're excited about, is it's now super affordable and convenient and simple to do this. So we believe that everyone is a media company. Every single human being, I heard that there's more iPhones than people on the planet now. So there's like half as many or something. It's insane. So that means everybody's a media company.
Yeah, and if you are in this space, you probably have heard Gary Vaynerchuk. And Gary Vaynerchuk loves to talk about how everyone, including those business owners out there, but even beyond business owners, just people in general, anyone that has a message or has something that they want to get out there in the world, they're a media company first. And then they are selling whatever their product is, or they're sharing whatever message after that. It's being the media company first and getting your content out to your audience that's most important. And that's what the future is. So that's how we envision everybody, is everyone's a media company.
Every human being in America today is a media company. And this is one of the fundamental founding principles of Real Elite, is we understand every single person is a media, whether they have 25 people or 25,000 or 25 million people that watch their stuff or look at them, they are a media company.
So everybody basically needs to be producing and distributing content. Right now we're in an age where if you are not doing that, other people will be doing that, and they are going to be building an audience, a following, an influence to help them build their brands, their businesses. And if you are a serious business person yourself, or you have a brand that you're trying to sell, you need to take that seriously and be doing that yourself.
Yeah.
And that's where we're stepping in. That's why we're building a company all around this, because literally it is the future, and there's a fundamental shift happening in that regard. So now we need to go into the importance of video in today's day and age.
Yeah, so, and we've kind of already touched on this, but, and we're focusing for this presentation of video in the modern world. It's really true of all media, but, video production is really easy to do. I mean, even what we're doing now is video. I mean, well, this webinar is video. It's done on free software and, just simple little mics that we have. And then we're just doing. So we really encourage people to think about, the massive amount of video that's being done. And now, the reason it's so important is traditional methods of acquiring either traffic. I mean, if you have a physical store, traditional methods of acquiring traffic into that store are going up. The price is going up. The price of banner ads, the price of SEO, it's becoming more difficult, if you know search engine optimization, or if you know pay-per-click with Google. The price of all those things are going up and up and up. It's, magazine ads, television ads, and the value of them,
the effectiveness
of them are going down. Now, just so you know, I think in the future you're going to see a little bit of the price of those things going down. But the point is that you don't have to always do a TV commercial if you're a lawyer, or a radio ad if you're H&R Block, and that's one thing you can do. But those are expensive. Those are expensive to produce, and they're expensive to distribute. Instead, so the cost of acquiring traffic is increasing in general, because we now have multiple ways of reaching a person, a human being. So think about Bob on the street. You could try to beam him with a banner ad. You could try to, get him while he's driving down the street with a billboard. You could try to get him with the TV, while he's
those sign spinners that maybe he'll see.
Yeah, you can get like a sign spinner. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things you could do. You could do radio light. You could do all that stuff. But don't forget that he's got all that stuff in his pocket. If you just walk around, people look like zombies these days, and because they're just looking at their phones all day. You make fun of them, but that's the opportunity.
That's the truth. That is the truth. You go anywhere where a person needs to wait in line for more than 10 seconds, the natural reaction of that person is to pull out their phone and look at something, to consume something that they want to consume. So it's your goal, your mission to be successful, to get your content on that phone, which they're naturally going to go to, and producing so much content that out of all the things they have to pick, they have a higher likelihood of picking your item and following you and your content, your message.
So, our whole thing of, as much as I'm a writer, I love to write, and I love audio. I'm one of those people. My mom said you have a face for radio, and so I love audio. I love written, and those are very powerful. We recommend you do them. But one of the things that we all know to be true is that video improves everything. Video. Even if you're going to do written, turn that written into a video thing as well. It'll help increase the viewership. Turn your audio stuff into a video opportunity. But also, we recommend setting up cameras and doing some of that, because video in an email increases the click-through rate. I have one of my most successful video email campaigns I've done in my career so far has been when I added just a simple little block of text and a little video, and that's it. And that's it. And I got way more people looking into it. I got way more people opening it. I got way more people interested. It's vastly superior.
Yeah, that happened with me too. Like in the real estate realm, which is my first focus when I was building business, was we would sell properties, investment properties, to other investors, and we would send them an email with the general information like how many beds, how many baths, and like photos of all the properties. And we had, above industry standard opens and click-throughs and that type of thing. But when I incorporated a video with every single property that I emailed out, it like quadrupled or more in the amount of click-throughs and just people responding back of interest and things like that. So video for sure was a huge impact that I learned a long time ago in email.
Yeah, and if you're a real estate agent or a broker or whatever, you know the importance of having photos. But more than ever, there are people who are really trying to get a feel for a house and a neighborhood. If you're in San Antonio where we are, there's already an influx of Californians like myself moving here. And that's only going to increase of these outsiders coming in. And they want to have a feel for the house and the neighborhood and the school. And this is where video content could quadruple, it could just explode your whole ability to connect with these people. Because if I'm a Californian and I've bought property or not, I've moved into places without even going there. Like I've literally done that, and that's happening more. I never went to a place and I just looked online and I just looked around and I moved in. California, right? I didn't even look, I didn't even visit it myself. And it was fine. Like that, and more people are doing that, and that's only going to increase, especially if you're getting people from California who are used to doing stuff like that online.
My wife, as a real estate agent, just sold a house to a couple who moved here, I think from California. I might be wrong on that. Maybe it was New Mexico. But they bought a house and showed up to closing without even ever seeing it. And
Wow.
The power was the video. Hillary went and shot video, did a walkthrough, and if they had a particular question, then she shot another video of what they were particularly looking for. And then the day before closing, the husband came to do the walkthrough, and then the wife wanted him to call her and FaceTime so that she could get even more video of the house and do it. And they bought the entire house without ever seeing it.
Yeah. So video improves everything. If you want to sell more, if you want to reach more people, if you want to help your, if you want, if you're a broker, like training your people with video is better than, making them come into meetings every day and training them in person all the time. Or, not that that's bad, but, the video is just a nice way, if they're bored somewhere, they can just watch one of those videos.
So video is the key to improve your engagement and your conversions. Bottom line. All right, so the next thing is, what are the type of videos that we provide?
Yeah, so at Real Elite, we can help you outsource a lot of this work if you're not interested in doing all the work that you may need to do to set up, to produce, to edit. Edit is a lot of the most complicated stuff that you're going to have to. That is the most difficult stuff to do, is the editing, I think. The thinking through the messaging and the shooting something cool is hard, but I think the editing is probably one of the harder things. And so what we help you do is make that simple, where we will help work with you on your messaging if you need it. We'll come out, we'll shoot it for you, and then we'll take that footage and we'll edit it for you, and then we'll just give you a finished product. And we can give you a whole bunch of videos versus what it was in the past where you get one video. So what we have is a variety of a lot of different options of what you can, these are just a couple of basic options, but we have a whole menu of styles and look and feel that you can get.
These are our most popular.
Yeah.
These are our most popular ones. So what Kirk just said is really powerful. We're going to show you the different styles of what we can do, but we go beyond that and making sure that we incorporate your logo and we get the color scheme that you want, and we can tweak it to get just the best components of whatever we shoot. But we also do on the front end, which is really powerful, is we have a worksheet that we have you fill out and we fill out with you, but we also do like an initial phone call before every shooting so that we can help help you plan what your message is going to be. What are the themes of the videos that you want to talk about, or what are the specific topics of each individual video that you want to discuss, so that we have a game plan going into the video. But for you, you don't have to mentally stress about having to think of, okay, what can I talk about next? Since we've done so many of these and we've worked with so many different clients and we've seen the different realms in which people are putting videos out there, we can help you talk through it, brainstorm it to get to those topics, so that we can shoot with a purpose and we get the best end product with the video. So that's where we also help you. Now, our advanced graphics video, this one is, I personally really like these videos, and the reason I like them is because there's a lot more visual movement. We have a little bit more in the graphics realm. These are especially great in the education component. If you need to show particular numbers or graphs, or you need to highlight a particular thing, we can do that with the
this is good if you don't want to be doing a lot of fancy moving around with the camera. We could do a lot of that with the graphics. So if you notice in the video, we'll show you in a second, the video clip. It's just a guy sitting in front of, in his building that he owns. He's kind of just describing a product of one of his businesses, and he's just sitting there and describing it. And we just basically added some cool graphics to make it pop. And part of our goal with helping you outsource this is helping you, where it's not just one video. Like, we shot 15 videos at once that we then pumped out all this content that he can do. So that's one of the benefits of stuff like this. And for him, he came in, we were ready to go. It took 90 minutes and he's done. Done. Now, just to be clear, he knew what he was going to say in this instance. So if you don't
That's where that phone call.
Yeah, so if you need some help with that, that may take a little bit longer. But the goal is to make it like as easy for you to pump out a lot of content where you don't have to do 2 hours a day or 2 hours a week every week of production. You could dedicate 2 hours a month or an hour a month, and we just create 8, 9, 10 videos out of that. And we can do that. We've developed ways to do that.
But what if you had been using the Livecom phone numbers in all your advertising? You simply pull it up on your computer or your phone, and within seconds, you could send out a text to every single one of your previous customers and say, hey, just had a 4 o'clock cancellation. Who's up for an impromptu massage at 4 o'clock? First come, first serve. I can only take one. Boom. Hour filled, $60, $70, $80, not lost.
So this one's really popular and great in a lot of ways.
So in our standard graph picks video, you'll notice we spelled this wrong, and we were just pointing this out to ourselves. This is we've gone through this whole video. We're like, oh man, that's awesome. But anyway, I think you get the idea.
Well, at least we got video.
Yeah, at least we got video right. We can do the video perfectly, we promise. But anyway, so with the standard graphic video, it's very similar to the advanced graphics, but we're not doing it's just not as complex with the specialized little things that make it pop. So we do more basic stuff where you could still teach, you could still educate, you could still show, and we're still going to do some text. We're going to put cool logos. We're going to have cool transitions. We're going to cut it up for you, so it'll look really good. It's just there's a few little things that we cut out of the advanced one that like the little text meme bleep graphics that we have in there. So it's just basically just a few less graphics.
Hey, I'm Casey Klaus. I work with Lifestyles Unlimited, and I help new investors get out of the rat race by investing in real estate. At one time, I was a personal trainer at a big box gym and was sent up to Washington, D.C. to be able to run all of their gyms. Anyway, sometimes things don't work out, and when they don't work out, I had my country song. I lost my house, lost my car, lost my dog, lost everything. And from that point, I needed to figure out how to get out of the rat race and have control of my life.
Now, the personal show is what I think everyone needs to do.
Yeah, this one's really
Like we're doing a show called The Tortoise and the Hare as we're recording this webinar.
This one's really important because this is where you tie your message all together in a cohesive branding opportunity.
Well, when you talk about being a media company, what that means is think of HBO, think of CBS, NBC, ABC, think of 96.5, whatever they are, right? And they have to have content all the time. And if you think of your page as a media company, like what we mean by that, what Gary Vaynerchuk means by that, is that you are, you have to constantly produce great quality videos to your audience. And a personal show is a great way of pumping out a lot of emotional, good content that you don't have to necessarily have years of development to get ready for. Because what you're doing with the personal show is it's like a mixture between, like, depending on what you want to do, between like education and a reality show. It's like, think of HGTV where it's like showing what they do, but it's also got some of the story elements.
Well, it shows who the person
and
is.
It shows
or
the person, like that Frederick Eklund guy or whatever his name is, like one of the biggest real estate agents and of the high-end stuff in New York City. And he has like I don't know if it's HGTV.
The millionaire real estate agent or something like that.
Millionaire listing. I don't remember. Anyway, the point is, like, he's really good at, like, selling himself in this personal show. And, whether you're speaking to 50 or 100 people that are your clients of prospective clients, or 50 and 100 million people, the principle applies. It's the same thing. Lots of content to get top of mind.
Well, if you think about it, what are you trying to achieve? You're trying to achieve a group of people that are constantly coming back to you and checking in with you to see what you're doing and what value you're providing. There's no better way to do that than to have a consistent show that somebody or group of people are going to consistently be checking into. And they might not see every episode of whatever show you produce, but they might see that first episode and the 6th episode and those type of things. But the purpose is to have that constant stream of value that people are always going to resonate with. If you think about it, what are the most successful things out there? They're all shows. Think of Ask Gary Vee show. Think of Joe Rogan show. All those podcasts are all shows. Game of Thrones is the #1 show and blowing everyone out of the water. And you could be creating your own show. And right now it is the most accessible and easiest time in which to do that. And if you think of all those big people you mentioned, big companies, NBC, CBS, what do they have? They just have a bunch of shows on their networks. It's just constantly cycling through the different shows in the different time slots. Things like Shark Week and Shark Tank. There we go. So having your own shows is something that everybody should be doing. So as I mentioned in the show, your people, your audience that are going to be following you because they like you and they like your content and your value are generally not going to see every piece of your content. And that's even more reason why you need to have more content out there, because you never know when that person has that 5 minutes on the subway or 10 minutes waiting at the DMV and they're just going to sit there and they're like, hey, I want to check this out. Or your video pops up at the top of their feed and that's an opportunity to get your message to that person.
Yeah, so if you think about it from a complete ROI standpoint for creating videos, as Marco mentioned, if you're creating a show, let's say every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday afternoon, right? Whatever time slot, we recommend you have a time slot, but you have the show that you're pumping out all the time. Now, Stephanie may not see the first 3 videos, but let's say you meet Stephanie at a bar or a coffee shop or whatever, just at a networking event, and she doesn't see your first 3 videos, but you you meet her at a coffee shop or whatever at a networking event, and you integrate her into your you tell her you have the show and you invite her and she likes the page. But she misses the first 3, or maybe she even likes the page and she doesn't see your first couple videos, but she so happens to see your 4th one. She probably doesn't even watch the whole damn thing. She just sees, oh yeah, I remember meeting that person right at the networking event. That's cool. And then she just moves on and looks at a cat chasing a cucumber. And then she misses
the cucumber chasing the cat.
Yeah, the cucumber chasing the cat. And then, maybe she doesn't see the next Tuesday one, the next Thursday one, the next Sunday one. But then she sees one on, in 4 weeks or whatever, right? And it actually is relevant to something going on in her life. If you're a real estate person, you're talking about where to get boxes for free, so it helps with moving, and you did a video about that. And then she sees that, and she actually watches it like, oh, that's interesting. Like, it actually connects with her in that moment. Now you're top of mind, and now she's thinking about something that, oh, I need to move, I'm ready to move, and here's an agent, boom, I'm ready to go. So the staircase of sales is, you want to, part of this is, one, you need to interact with people multiple times to build a relationship. We all know that. You don't fall in love with, despite what they say, you don't fall in love with someone at first sight, right? You meet them again, you hang out again, you see them at this event, and then eventually you have a relationship. You talk over and over again, Same thing here. These check marks are, you want to meet them over and over again. This is an infinite staircase. It never ends. And, she missed you here,
each
but
step is a video.
Each step is a video, and even if you miss her, you want as many of these check marks as possible, so you want to keep going until you get 5, 6, 7, 8 check marks. That may take 60 videos, 80, 100, but you can't just do the check marks because you don't know which ones those are going to be.
And that's why the video part is so beautiful, because he just described one person's experience, but by creating video, simultaneously there are going to be a multitude of people.
Jill and Stephanie and Mark and
exactly.
Efren.
And different videos are going to connect with different people, but the way you connect with as many people as possible is having as much content and having as much video out there as possible. And that's why you need to have the staircase be as tall as you can get it.
Yeah, and last thing I'll say, and we'll move on, is just one nice thing about a lot of the content, especially if it's educational or it's general content that you're creating, is after you do like 60, 70, 80 of these, if you needed to, you could even bump it up by doing, in case you missed it on Wednesdays, or like a Throwback Thursday episode, where every Thursday you do an old episode and you start from the beginning. And so you're doing a simultaneous thing where you're creating old content, or you're creating new content, and you're recycling some of the old content. So it's not like it disappears. You're repurposing. So people watch videos a lot, guys. Like we've kind of emphasized this a lot, but there's something like, 4 billion video views daily. I think 1 billion hours of video content, 1 billion hours of video content is consumed on YouTube. And then Facebook is somewhere around 300 million and growing. So people are constantly watching videos online.
And all of these platforms are growing.
And all the platforms are growing. And you want to be at the cutting edge, because the next step that's already happening is the ability to flick your phone onto your television and to watch what's on your phone, on your television instantaneously. That's already possible. People already have, the technology is already in homes today. And the next step is just being in every home. So in 5 years, everyone's going to have the ability to press a button on their phone and it goes right on their computer or right on their TV. And, it's going to be an integrated system. And so if they're watching a show of you and it's something interesting that they like to watch, they come home and they, now they'll probably be able, or in the future, they'll be able to do it audio. Like, Alexa, turn on my TV and watch the show on my phone.
That's right.
Or Alexa, phone. And then it just knows right away. And then in 20 years, they're just going to read your mind.
Yeah.
You just blink and it just reads your mind, and what's on there. That's pretty scary. But it's going to happen, and so you want to be a part of that.
So technology is changing. You need to be taking advantage of that technology shift right now.
So the main solution, which we've already talked about, is turning yourself into a media company. And whether you do it or you outsource it, because of the if you go to at REELELITE at Real Elite, you can hit us up, or you can watch some of our videos on how to take $100 in existing equipment and turn your house into an advanced, video production, audio production studio. And you can do it yourself. And if you need our help, we're here to, help you out. Just hit us up and we'll help you. But our solution to this, making more sales, getting more referrals, is turn yourself into a media production company.
And like we mentioned, this is all accessible to you right now. You can literally grab your phone, go to Facebook, say, I want to go live. And you could go live and produce a piece of content right there at no cost, free, and do a selfie video. And you can create that. Now, if you need help, that's where we come in. If you don't have the time to do it, you don't have the energy, the mental power, as far as to try and think through what you want to produce, and if you just don't have that ability, that's where you can outsource to us, and we can be that solution for you and help guide you to where you are consistently producing video at a successful rate.
So this is just so you understand what the industry rule of thumb, the world I came from, how much it cost to do videos. And the cost was pretty expensive for a small business person to do a lot of videos. So what we would normally do is, we'd bust out a couple of really fancy, cameras, some sound equipment, lights.
Throw in an explosion.
We'd do voiceover. You could do crane shots. I mean, even with an industry, like just a corporate video or a company promo video, we're talking a minimum for a good one, we would charge $1,000 per edited minute. That means if it was a 3-minute video, we're talking $3,000.
That's the standard.
That was the
industry
standard. Yeah, we actually did, even when we started Real Elite, we did cheaper. We did for like a 3-minute video, we would do something like $1,000 to $1,500. So even at the beginning of Real Elite, we would try to be less expensive. But when I was starting in film, it was more expensive, and the price hasn't really come down. And the reason is, these are some of the things that go into filming. The initial engagement, the theme and, scope and creative planning of a video, talking about it, logistics and actually shooting or planning the shooting, actually doing the videography, the editing of it, we send out the video to the client, they give us feedback, and then we do more editing, then what's called rendering the files and uploading, things like that. And then, of course, the equipment was really expensive, and this is a multi-person job for the most part. This is a couple camera operators, a couple editors, sound operators. I mean, even on a low-budget thing, you're talking 3 people job for a lot of this. So the point is, this, by the way, hasn't really changed a whole lot to some degree, except we've condensed it. We've made it way easier and simpler to produce lots of video, because this is for one video. So we're doing something like this for like 10 is the goal. So it's like, our question was, can we do this with 10 videos? And then can we do, for the 10 videos, or 8, 10, 12, whatever the package is, can we do the same price as one video? Or, even a fraction of that. And we've radically slashed prices by streamlining the process and using normal equipment that you can use, that anybody can actually use.
Why do we make it our goal to reduce the price points to the most affordable level that we could?
So the issue is that one video is not enough. You need to do many videos. Like, we have so many clients that have already done a video. They spent a couple $1,000s on it. It's super cool. It looks great. And it has maybe 1,000 views. Has never led to a sale. And what's it really going to do for you? Like, if you can't afford the $50,000 to distribute it on NBC or $1 million on the Super Bowl, what's a 4-minute promo video going to do sitting on YouTube or your website that nobody visits?
Or they looked at it that one time and then that was it.
Yeah, and so our whole thing is a revolution in media production, which is turning yourself into a media production company, which means produce content every week, every day, dozens and dozens of pieces of content.
So we basically, like we said, it's our premise that people need to be making as much content out and putting it out there as they can. And the only way, the biggest hurdle to that is the price. If the industry is saying that it needs to be $1,000 for every edited minute, there's going to be whatever budget you have for video, it's going to run out pretty quick. But if we, as in Real Elite, can make videos more affordable and help people have access to videos on a volume basis, then we are helping people achieve the overall goal, which is getting as much content out there and building that staircase that we mentioned earlier as high as possible.
Okay, so here's our video styles menu. By the way, you'll notice that we put the price right away. One of the things that I found really frustrating if you looked at video production companies is they always say, if you email them, well, it depends on the project, right? It depends on the project, depends on the project, depends on the...
That was a great voice, by the way.
Yeah, right. That's how they all sound. Which I get, by the way. I understand it's really complicated because, if you wanted to hire Real Elite for a specialized, project where we do something unique for you, then yes, it is going to kind of depend on the project. So I get it. But what we've tried to do for you to make it as simple as possible, the least amount of time on your hands to get up and running for a very affordable price, is we've developed just generic styles that we can pump out these videos for you and get started. And then if you wanted down the line to do something really cool, if your show blew up, great, now do something more specialized and personalized or whatever you want.
Or custom.
Custom. And so, I've always had the frustration of, client, like video production companies don't tell you how much they cost or anything like that. So for us, for that standard graphics video we talked about earlier, we're talking about $135 per video, which is, and this is for anywhere from a 3 to 4 minute video. Usually is what we.
So if we applied that $1,000 per edited minute, that would be the
like
same
$3,000 to
video.
$5,000.
$3,000 to $5,000.
Yeah, and even if we're like giving you a discount, we're still talking like $1,000, $2,000.
So we are literally a very, very small fraction of what the standard is.
And then we're doing $7.95 for 8 videos. That allows you to have the time to truncate the time. So you could do all 8. We can shoot all 8 videos back to back in an hour, 90 minutes, 2 hour time period, and now you have a month or 2 months of content, depending on how much you want to produce. So the advanced graphics video we talked about is you need to buy in bulk for this one, but it's $12.95 for 8 versus $7.95. But this is where you're getting more advanced graphics in there. We're just adding more. So
then we also have our probably one of our more popular ones is the video meme too. And the video meme. It's a simple one to start with. Yeah, video memes are real easy. They're optimized specifically for social media. So you'll notice that there is a top banner of text and a bottom banner of text, and we usually put a little call sign to wherever your page is. But when somebody's just quickly scrolling through Facebook or even Instagram or other platforms, it catches the attention a lot more. And these are usually a lot shorter in time frame and gets a really quick message out there and just gets you, again, top of mind really quick, really fast, and has the highest likelihood of being watched from beginning to end.
Yeah, and then we have that we have a walkthrough video, which we didn't talk about before, but this we really like, especially it helps with movement, because that's always nice to have movement. We also do graphics to make it catch. So we're doing editing, we're doing graphics, we're doing so we're doing some more advanced stuff, but and we're incorporating the movement. So this is great for like tours. This is great, if you want to do a tour of a house, if you want to do a tour of a coffee shop, or even like we've done it with people who want to do like showcasing one of their education products, where they like bring people to a house, for instance, and interview that person and show them what they're doing. I did this yesterday. Like for a real estate person. They built this whole house for a family, and think of this like your HGTV type show where you could do with this. And they did a reveal where the family had no idea that the house was actually done. And so
That's cool.
we shot it, and then I followed them around with the camera and watched all it. And now we're going to cut it together. So that's like a walkthrough videos. It's, you know, we're following you around and we're recording basically.
It's really good in the real estate realm, particularly to showcase the space, the floor plan, to give people, if you want somebody to feel like they're immersive, it's about as close as you can get to it.
Yeah, and this is something you could do with like a selfie stick, but what we add to it is, one, we do it so you don't have to worry about it. You could just show up and just talk to us. But then we add graphics, we cut it together. You know, we basically do the things that make it pop so people will stick around longer. The personal video intro show is, again, one of our favorite ones that I think, the personal video show is something that I think everyone needs to be doing. And it's actually internally our most popular product is one of the shows we produce called Today's Investor, which gets thousands of views every time that we shoot one within a very select community, to the point where the host Marco here gets hit up and, you know, people ask him, "Are you that guy?" Just randomly ask him, "Are you that guy on the Today's Investor?" And it's really powerful.
Yep. So with the personal show, this one particularly, like we stressed earlier, has the biggest capability to reaching the most audience that's out there, having the biggest outreach. And even with the show that we produce, which is Today's Investor, and even the Tortoise and the Hare, we have that as well. It's just completely a brand building video piece of content that even
Branding mostly, yeah.
that like Kirk mentioned. For me personally, I've had people that I've never met before, that I had no idea who they were, come up to me and say, "Oh, I saw you on that one show. I really liked it for these reasons," and even wanted to take my photo and a couple other things just because of the content I put out there and the show that we produce. So that's something you definitely need to utilize. And then the reality show is basically an expansion upon that. It's taking, building a show that's way more spruced up. You think of your HGTV flip this house kind of style. We have a lot of sound effects. We have graphics. We have
We bust out some of the pro stuff.
Yeah, we have more of the professional equipment. We have more of the professional lighting, audio, taking multiple angles. There's a lot more production involved. That's why it's the higher price point. But it's something to differentiate yourself in the market and to be doing something that's completely new in your space typically, but is also a proven way for popularity and viral growth, which you can just tell by going to HGTV. That's what they built their channel around.
Yeah, and also you can do showings. Like, it's worth these types of shows. So, you know, you can rent out like a rooftop bar or something, or just have a networking event and show this show, because this is something that's a little bit on a higher, you know, production value. So although everything has great value, they're in a different format. So the reality show can literally be, you know, you could put it up on YouTube for your own show, but you can literally put it up on a TV if you wanted to. Right. And it's on that, you know, so it's on a little bit of a higher caliber. Okay, so guys, that's our, you know, webinar, and we hope that you learned a little bit about what's available, what's possible. You know, if you go to @RealElite on Facebook, or if you you know, you can message us there, and we can give you tons of videos. We can incorporate you into our Media Mastery course, which is free. And, you know, the whole point is we want you to start doing this, even if you're not going to use our services. Just start doing it. You know, start doing it at, you know, commit to a date and time every Tuesday and Thursday at 6. Publish your thing, and then if you need help, please reach out to us.
Bottom line is, right now is a fundamental shift in how society is interacting with one another and how businesses are growing. That fundamental shift is going to more online social media and connecting with your networks in that realm. Video is a fundamental and crucial component to that. And for you as a business owner or somebody trying to build a brand, video is your number one responsibility to help yourself have the best future moving forward. And with Real Elite, you can be doing all these things on your own. We've tried to give you all the tools and explain how you can be producing. But if you need someone to help you, to guide you, to even motivate you to actually sit in front of the video, we are here for you. We've made it our mission to be able to produce videos at a volume capacity for all of our clients, and to make each of the videos at a price point that's extremely affordable. So what are the next steps? The next steps is, number one, you need to be doing this, whether it's with us or someone else, or just doing it yourself. Start making videos today. And if you want to utilize us so that we can help you and bring our experience and our expertise to the table to help you build the content that you should be building today, then reach out to us. We will do a initial consultation of you and your business over the phone to find out exactly what you're trying to achieve, and give you our expert guidance and our recommendations of what would fit for you, and then we can go ahead and move forward from that capacity. So thank you for taking the time to watch this webinar. We really enjoyed putting it together. This was fun, right?
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to meeting you and learning about your business and being able to help produce content for you. And even if we're not doing it for you, we're excited to see what content you are putting out there. So if you're creating stuff, tag us. We would love to see what you're putting out there.